Please stand for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for the Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated.
Hello ECHS, this is Kylie Morgan.
And this is Abariza Rooker.
And these are announcements.
Flex food trucks are here on the September 20th.
The Stock Market Challenge is back, so sign up on the QR codes or see Ms. Tucker.
NHS members, come see Miss Ellis about working the football game this Saturday at Rose Stadium.
Important, if you need tutoring, get a pal by signing the QR codes, the blue QR codes.
Student government applications are now open. Check your email for more.
For those of you that scan the QR codes, these are our shout-outs.
Noel and Sammy Hare, and shout out that Elvis Landers is funny.
Dr. Thomas would like to shout out Miss Walker for letting him borrow her stepladder.
Haley Rodriguez would like to shout out Rosalind Quintero for being skiddity toilet. And I'd personally like to shout out Mr. A and Mr. Silva for telling me I'm not loud enough. So thank you. Is this loud enough?
Yeah, Mr. Silva.
And now to the weather with our meteorologist, Mackenzie Donnell.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie Donnell, and today, Monday, you will have a high of 93 degrees with a low of 56 degrees. Tomorrow, on Tuesday, you will have a high of 91 degrees with a low of 64 degrees.
And now to hear from our sophomore Indy about the recent school changes and how students feel about them.
Me personally, I enjoyed the longer lunches because I got to hang out with all my friends, but I do also think that the clubs will be a great way for us to be able to communicate together and to be able to meet different people.
I feel that it kind of takes away from our time to socialize, and also I know some of my friends and I personally use that time to study, so it took away some of our study time.
I feel like they took away our privileges they told us we would have when we came to ECHS, even though they were like, you're gonna get your hour lunches, and now we have clubs, which is okay, but I'd rather have an hour lunch.
I'm disappointed, but I'll get over it.
I feel like it doesn't really affect juniors and seniors since we're kind of in the cafeteria for a long time, so it's not really a big deal, but I can understand it would be upsetting for like sophomores and freshmen.
Hi, I've heard that there's been some confusion and some disgruntledness about how the lunches changed from last year to this year because we had hour-long Friday lunches last year. There was actually really good reasoning for that. Sadly, when we were letting kids leave for an hour, they weren't coming back for about an hour and a half, or they were leaving 30 minutes early, and it just got to be more and more and more to the point that a lot of our seniors didn't have enough seat time in order to graduate and get credit for their classes. So you might ask, what's seat time? Well, in the state of Texas, you have to be in a class for at least 90% of the time in order to get credit for that. So if you have an hour lunch, that means you've really got to be there on time, present, hardly any other absences if you're going to get credit for the class. And it just wasn't happening. So we had to be the adults and put our foot down and say, okay, we've got to back up these lunches. However, as you may already know, we are going to have some Flex Fridays throughout the year where you will have a longer lunch with food trucks.
Have a great weekend, Owls!
Oh, we got some Mr. House. This is crazy. This is crazy. Come on. Oh, come on, Mr. House. You gotta hear this. Oh, come on, Mr. House. This is important information. You gotta hear this. Mr. Haas, you won't believe what we just found out. It's so crazy. It's crazy information.
Look out! Get in there!